What up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. It is fight week. Canelo Alvarez and John Ryder. It's going down Saturday night, previews and predictions. Then that's what we're here to do. We're here to give you our preview and we'll predict. Not only that, we got a guest in studio, the CEO, the head honcho, the man in charge over at Shredskinz.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, we're going to have him in studio. But, Danny, man, what's going on? Ring walk?
Man, back with another one that, my boy's back in the ring tomorrow.
Who's that?
Canelo Alvarez, man. So,
I thought that was like relative status.
Yeah, I mean, I wish.
I know, right?
But both guys have made weight. Both guys.
There was an issue with the weight, though, right? There was some controversy. Like, Matchroom saying one weight, Salvador Rodriguez reporting one weight, a weight being officially put out, that being deleted.
So I heard it was originally like Ryder was 167.9 is what was tweeted out.
Okay.
And then I think I saw that got deleted, but then I saw the official weigh-in this morning, the video where they said Ryder was 168. So
both men have made weight.
Yeah, made his weight. Weights is made, absolutely. Both guys just got down with their final stare.
Before we started, I was watching Ryder
their final stare down before they step into the ring tomorrow night in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. And Ryder looks upset. Canelo, geez, they did this in like some big ass like opera house or some shit. The weigh-in that is. Okay.
So JT, let me get the live preview here, please, because I got. I just cut some camera cutting. But yeah, man, look, I'm gonna be real. I'm picking Canelo, and that's it. End the story, right? Nobody's really excited. It is what it is. I understand what this is, so I'm not knocking him, right? Like he, took a loss, then he took a tune-up, then, he had surgery, so he needs a tune-up, and then he wants Bivol.
It's fine and mandatory.
Huh?
I mean, John Ryder's a mandatory.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but come on, man. Let's be real. He deals with mandatories when he went once, not necessarily when he's supposed to. You feel me? Like, it's Canelo. It's not like the WBO was about to strip him. Don't get me wrong. We seen the IBF do it.
Yes, we did.
But I don't think that the WBO was about to strip Canelo Alvarez in any way, shape, or form. Are you excited about any of these other undercard fights, or do you want to talk about any of these other
I'm going to be
undercards?
honest with you. I'm excited to see Alexander Volstik in the ring just because I thought highly of him. I mean, he's the one that took Superman out of boxing.
But then he got took out of boxing. So
at least for a few years, I know he's had one fight. I think that was on the Marv Nation show, if I'm not mistaken. And now he's on the Canelo undercard. Julio Cesar Martinez, you get what I'm saying? I'm going to try to see if I can see the nephew of Canelo, Johan Alvarez. He's on the card. And then, like I said, the son of former world champion Christian Larios. Oscar Larios. I think his son's name is Christian. But former world champ son Oscar Larios was also the first world champ that Eddie Reynoso and Chepo Reynoso had back in the day. He nearly knocked out Pacquiao. His son's turning pro on this card as well. But outside of that, look, man, this is for Canelo to come home. A lot of money being put into it, so not the greatest of cards. I'm just excited for the face of boxing to return to the ring.
Did you catch the face-off?
I did.
Yo, super long stare down. It's funny. I think that's what sells his fights. He's always shorter. So it always gives the impression, no matter who he's fighting, that they got some sort of shot. Like, bro, John Ryder got the ill mean mug. Like, you're looking at him and it looks like he believes he can win. So I can see how this dude continuously sells tickets. It's funny because face-offs are so deceiving. You see them in the face-off and one guy can either look, you know, significantly bigger or significantly smaller, but they couldn't come fight night. They always give up that height. They always seem to be the same height. It doesn't really seem to play a major difference in the fight. That height never does anyway, and not to me. But yeah, man, I think we should bring in our first guest because, like I said, while it's a previews and prediction, there's not much to talk about here. Everyone pretty much believes Canelo will get the win, and if he doesn't, it'll just go down as the biggest upset. Or one of the biggest upsets in boxing, but I don't think we're going to begin to start counting Canelo out. He hasn't slipped. He's only coming off of a surgery, you know, a loss to Bivol, a man bigger than him at a division above. It doesn't show signs of slippage. The knee brace isn't enough for me to pick with John Ryder in this fight.
Not at all, but we do have Kalaii here from Shredskinz, so we'll take a quick intermission and be right back with him. Don't go anywhere. Smash that like button while you wait.
Yes, sir. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with the owner, CEO. What would you call?
You know, both, man.
Okay.
Both. For like a very long-winded answer, but both. Definitely owner and CEO for sure.
And it's Kalaii.
Kalaii, yep.
All right. So were you a football player before all this happened?
Man, I was like a semi-football player, you know
Okay.
what I mean? I was kind of good. I had one of those like really good pro days, but couldn't really translate it to the field. You know, I had like a 41-inch vert, but didn't really play much, man. I ended up breaking my arm my senior year. But yeah, man, I played for the University of Texas, El Paso, over there at UTEP. Many people don't know what that school is, but that's where Aaron Jones played if you watch football from the Packers. So yeah, man, Aaron Jones.
I'm a Bears fan.
Okay. Yeah. Good luck to you.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is out the division, so for the first time in my lifetime, it's only been Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. So
Right.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm a happy man right now. Shout out to the Jets.
I'm a Jets fan. So,
Yo, Jets, Jets. Yes, sir. Shout out to y'all.
So good luck to me, right? Like I've been waiting for this time for a minute, man, to have some type of thing going, man. Offensive Rookie of the Year. I know we're not here to talk football, but like Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, man. We got a solid defense, and now we got a quarterback. I don't care how old he is, man. It's better than Zach Wilson. You say that and stamp that. So at the end of the day, man, yeah, I used to play football. Big part of my story because I kind of found football late, right? I found it ninth grade in high school. Didn't really understand what football was, and you know, because it didn't work out, that's really how I ultimately, you know, came across with Shredskinz, right? Kind of happened on accident.
Why didn't it work out? Was it because of weight?
No, it was because I broke my arm, right? So like I said, I had like these phenomenal numbers, right? But at the end of the day, during the COVID year, if you weren't a baller in and out on the field, didn't really matter your numbers or how cool you looked during pro day. You had to have the complete package for them to actually take the risk of drafting you without seeing you. And so I had the ability to play for a couple smaller leagues. But I was like, man, I don't think I think I was like 26 at the time. I had a kid. I have a kid, and I was just like, I don't think I want to chase this football dream, right? And while I was training for these leagues, I was using trash bags, right? So I was using these trash bags,
Poking holes in them.
I
feel
didn't
that.
even feel confident wearing it, right? Like I'm out here in a Glad flower smelling trash bag trying to get my work in. And then I would go buy these reusable sauna suits at some of these big retailer stores. I don't want to mention them, give them any credit. And they would rip on me too.
They would.
And I was like, come on, man, where's the in between? You know?
Not only that, though.
I spent $100 on one from.
Oh, I know exactly.
From Box
what you're
Raw?
talking about.
Bro, I spent
I know
$100
exactly what you're
from
talking
one.
about. The haggle.
Now, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Third time I'm using it,
It
fucking
ripped.
pants.
Yep.
Like right here.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And of course, all I had was my compression shorts under. I'm talking about big. And you know what I'm saying? I'm walking around Afghanistan with like my meat just getting a breeze.
Well, hey, man, you blessed to at least have that problem. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that. But like, here's the thing, man. I never like to discredit other people's sauna suits, but what we all can agree upon is eventually them shits is gonna rip on you. Box Raw.
Or why I like yours, why I personally reached out, it's either they're gonna rip or it just becomes nasty after so many uses. It's like,
Man.
what,
Yeah, no,
what am
for
I
sure.
putting that shit on for?
Bro, then it's like I'm gonna be honest. I've owned I don't know how many sauna suits, and it's like, how the fuck do I even wash them? Like I'm standing in the backyard, like
Real.
bro,
Rinse it. You gotta like
rinse
hit it with a
It's on the hose
Bro.
and shit.
Y'all are breaking down my literal pitch. Like
No,
for
because
me, man.
I'm telling you, when I seen it, I'm like, oh wow, what a smart idea, you know?
Thank you.
I'm shocked more fighters aren't using it.
So it's one of those things where it's that fine line between, do I target all the fighters or do I target women, right? And so I'm kind of going through that transition right now, and I think that's like, I would
Why
even say-
women?
Because women carry a ton of water weight, man. Women carry a ton of water weight, and women make up about 65% of my customers. And it's
Wait,
because
how much water weight do they carry? I got a woman.
well, I mean, if you think about it, right, without even like being vulgar, right, like there's certain areas in their body, like i.e. their arms, their stomachs, their upper area that just carries a ton of water weight. And women, you know, majority of women are trying to get, you know, up and started from either, you know, coming out of postpartum or just never really working out, right? And so to give them that jump start and to have them see their sweat and to shed that water weight, almost giving them like this this sense of hope and this real quick reaction of like, damn, I can do this, really brings back women to
Is
my
it a
customer
myth
base.
though about like, yeah, you know, but you're just taking off water weight, so you put it right back on?
So I wouldn't say it's a myth because that's a fact, right? Like you are literally taking off water weight. There's a ton of benefits in taking off that water weight, right? But the way I present it and the way I essentially tell people about it is, yes, you are going to remove water weight, but that's okay, right? The thing about Shredskinz, and it also separates off of all the other amazing things that y'all just said, is that Shredskinz catches that weight, that water weight in your, you know, sweat sac, and you're able to kind of dump and do this nasty like, whoa, that's my progress to it, right? So whenever I'm telling somebody like, look, you know, you're at this weight, you want to get to this weight, make sure you have a proper diet, right? I'm not making any false weight loss claims.
Yep.
Make sure that you're actually getting that work in the gym. But if you want to heat up your core temperature of your body and you want to sweat and you want to accelerate that process, use a damn sauna suit, and preferably use a Shredskinz because you don't have to worry about cleaning and drying it. You can rip it off and recycle it right after. You don't have to spend $100 on some of the premier suits. It comes in a pack of 5, right? And it allows you to kind of see
How
what
much
you're
is a
working
pack
with.
of 5?
$24.99. Yep.
And so we led with ripping. So are you saying yours doesn't rip?
No, I mean,
Because you just said rip them off.
no, for sure. So my concept is you wear it. It's durable enough for you to wear throughout one workout, and when you're done, you rip it and recycle it, right? So if you have, say, a sauna suit that costs you anywhere from $50 to $100, first of all, you're taking the chance of it ripping, then you have to spend that 50 to 100 again. But then when you take it off, you have to clean and dry it. You have to make sure that you do that properly. When I started this was during COVID, right? People were washing groceries before they came in the house. I didn't want to keep bringing in these sauna suits that I was working out in the gym that were just nasty, putting it back in my bag, right? So for Shredskinz, sure, you know, it may rip on you one time. I mean, I don't think everybody has an 100% proof, but it will get you through your one workout. You rip it off, recycle it, bring out the next one.
How's the sizing work? So if you're a large, do you buy a large or you do one size bigger because of the sweat and it sticks to you?
No, great question, man. So I'm like 6'1", 6'2", and I have like a 6'9" wingspan. And I remember when I was creating this, I was like, make the wingspan as long as possible, because that should pretty much cover a lot of different people. So in short, you know, one size fits most. But we do offer like, hey, if you get the damn Shredskinz and it just does not fit you, send it back. It's no problem, man. We have a 1% return rate, man, because a lot of people fit it. Whether you're, you know, 5'2" petite, you could tuck it in, or you're 400 pounds, you're 6'4", man. It should be able to fit.
What do you say to the person that's like, yo, those things, they're not healthy, or they have concerns
what they're made of first,
or
because
they
there's
have
a myth with the
concerns,
plastic bags.
or they have concerns of
Cancer.
the myths and things like that. So.
Cancer as far as the water weight or the plastic?
No, the plastic bag myth with the cancer.
Yeah, so like I mean
I'm saying myth because I ain't do the research.
For sure. So we're and I mean I'm in a similar boat, right? So like my goal as a CEO and owner is to be as eco-conscious as possible, right? So right now we have a, you know, degradable plastic, right, that will degrade anywhere from 9 to 18 months, right, once removed, right? But that's not good enough for me, right? I want to be as innovative as possible to allow my customers to feel really good about, you know, not making this huge carbon footprint in the eco-conscious world. That's one challenge that I'm dealing with, right? And then to answer the plastic question, right, as science comes out, right, we're finding out like, hey, you know, you keep your water in a water bottle, right? Like,
it's
bad.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I guess as an owner and a CEO, all I could do is pivot and roll with the punches, right? But at the end of the day, right, like you look at, for an example, like flushable wipes, right? People don't have a problem with the single-use version of that, right? Because nobody's using just rags to wipe their ass. So, like, as long as we're in the space of 2023, right, I'm going to continue to roll with what I got, right?
No,
so,
sure.
you know, if I could be as eco-conscious as possible, strive to be there and continue to find different materials and plastics, that's all I really can do, you know, because people aren't going to I mean, people are doing, like, reusable bags and stuff, but, you know, people aren't completely switched over from single use in plastic, you know what I mean? So I guess my short answer is I'm doing the best I can to stay ahead of these times and these quote unquote myths and science, you know, researches and projects that come out, you know.
So usually I don't allow the whole MMA talk, but you got something going on with the UFC though.
Yeah, man.
Or
I mean,
you're trying to get
yeah. So super preliminary right now. Gonna try to meet with not try to meet. We're gonna meet with the UFC PI. My goal is to infiltrate that system, man, and to really just rip and replace, man. I'll be straight up. Like my goal is to put my sauna suits out in front of everyone. And we've had a few UFC fighters. I'd say the biggest one, Max Griffin, that's my guy. I'm Kalaii Griffin. We're actually not related. That deal actually came about because he loves Shredskinz, and he's been kind of putting us on the map. I feel like a lot of people have seen us, and I think it's about time, on top of like the going viral on TikTok, the Shark Tank, I think it's about time, man, to really talk with not just a fighter or two, but really just the organization and just try to figure out how we could get that popping. But I'm not limited to the MMA, man. Like, you know, just recently, I think we sparked the idea of bodybuilding, right? Those bodybuilders need to shed water, right? Yeah. Boxers, you know, we talk about it all the time. We have a few boxers, but just really tapping into that boxing market.
Girls, you know, it's summertime, hot girl summer.
Right.
You get what
I'm telling you, that's probably my biggest
That
market.
was one of my questions that slipped. Is it a unisex suit, or do women have their own choice colors?
No, so we have colors for everybody, right? Like I'm a pink rocking dude, man. I don't care. I rock pink, right?
Too,
so like,
they know.
So you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you could rock whatever color you want to rock, man. Black is our best seller, which is odd to me. Full transparency, right? When I created this, I was like, black looks too much like a trash bag. Like,
Yeah.
like the whole point is this is not a trash bag, right? I almost get slightly offended when somebody says it is. But people love black, and I think it's because it's kind of discreet. You could put it under,
Slimming.
you know what I mean? Slimming. You could put it under a sweater like this right now. I could be rocking one right now. You don't even know. I might be leaking on the couch. But at the end of the day, it's not like flamboyant where it's like, yo, what's that giant, green thing or pink thing or blue thing you got on? So, nah, man, like unisex, man, you rock whatever color makes you happy. Black is our best seller. But to kind of finish answering your question, man, like, yeah, I'm working with essentially any organization that wants to work with us, right? But I'm also taking my time and scaling. I think that's like a huge thing for owners and CEOs to deal with.
Yo, I just thought of something. Where you from originally?
So I was born in Massachusetts, right? But I was raised in Maryland, DC.
Bro, so look,
wow.
watch this. You play football.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard this. I find it super whack. I wasn't that good at all. State of Florida requires their football players to weigh in before every game.
Interesting.
High school.
That is
You might have to
interesting.
take a trip, talk to like school board system.
We try not to touch the under 18, man. Like, we were just talking about mitigating.
Why, health reasons?
I mean, just mitigating risk, right? Like, we was just talking about how like studies are coming out and people don't even want to drink plastic water bottles anymore, man. So it's like, if I can avoid kids and under 18, I'm gonna do that. That's gonna relieve some shoulders. But I guess to tell you my thoughts on that, man, Florida got some dogs down there, and I don't know what their reasoning is, but it sounds a little scary to me. Like if you get a 15-year-old kid and he 210, he play linebacker, let that kid be. You know what I mean? But
I mean, that's how it is anywhere else. Why the fuck?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
I remember as a football player, we had guys that wrestled too, and it's like, if they had to meet that evening, they wasn't in class during the day. They in the weight room trying to cut weight.
Exactly. And I'll say wrestling's a big factor too, man. Like that's something that we're going to tap in with on the collegiate level as well. There's so many different avenues, and we're not even close to where we want to be with Shredskinz because of that convenience factor. It's like, I'm not competing with the Box Raw. Shout out to them, right? They're probably the best at what they do. But there's a lot of different other ones as well. But Shredskinz is the first of its kind. And with the first of your kind, it's going to come people that are going to try to knock you down and rip you off. But at the end of the day, like that convenience factor of not being a trash bag, but allowing that kind of cool aspect of wearing this single-use sauna suit, I think is gonna take over. Honestly,
What happened with the Shark Tanks? How'd that go? Did it
And
amount
what-
to anything?
How'd you get yourself on the show, and how was the experience overall?
man, I'm not gonna lie, that shit took forever. But without like breaking an NDA, I would say the experience was amazing. It's pretty much everything that you can think of, right? From every emotion, right? Like I used to tell myself I'd never cry on that show. I did tear up a little bit, but not because like I needed the deal, but just more so because it just triggers things, man. Like I'm a huge dad. I'm like a dad's dad, man, and my son is a dad's boy.
Oh, so you took the deal.
I did, yeah. So I did a deal with Mark Cuban, and so we're currently Mark Cuban's my partner, and I got a couple offers as well on the show. But my point is, man, like I was just super emotional on that show, man, and I kind of just laid it all out without making any weight loss claims, and I think that they love the fact that I was super transparent. I'm like, listen, here's the numbers, right? We accelerate your workout. Right, I'm not making any silly weight loss claims of like this is gonna get you skinny fast. But if you want to sweat, this is what's gonna make you sweat. If you use a sauna suit before, here's a more convenient factor to it. And I think they just appreciated my transparency. Like, look, here's what I'm good at. Here's what I'm not good at. Right, and this is what I do.
I'm curious, man. How many Mavericks games has Mark had you at?
Bro, it's funny. So that aired in December. Right. So you got to think like that was kind of like the beginning of the season. I never like to be, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't like to be naggy. Right?
Nah,
so you know what I mean? So like, and I also like to prove myself. And so it'll come when it needs to come. I did mention that I was going to go to one and like, hey, like if we run into each other, like awesome. Right. But I never like to feel entitled or a sense of like, because I'm your partner, I need this.
Yeah, for sure.
Because once you earn something, he'll give it to me. I genuinely thought the Mavs was going to hit the playoffs. So I was like, I'll just wait around that time. Unfortunately, shit didn't happen. It's all good. Next season, we'll be back at it. But I will hit one for sure. But It's just more so one of those things where it's like it'll come when it
Nah,
needs to.
for sure.
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
Yo, he has like such a fucking dope story. Like he's talked about it on countless interviews where it's like he went to the season opener game and it's like half empty, the arena's half empty, and he thought that the team was putting out a shit product, and he's like, I can do better than this.
Yeah.
And like he's like, let me put my money where my mouth is, and like 60 days later he owns a team.
Man, it's crazy. I will say, man, Mark is fast. It's fast, man. And that, like, to piggyback off that story, man, like I remember my first email to him, I'm like sweating, you know, trying to calculate this detailed ass email. And you know, obviously it was cool, but he replied back in less than 15 minutes, man. This shit freaked me out. I was like, oh, like, you know, this is multi-billionaire Mark Cuban, you know what I mean?
What's the goal with Shredskinz? Are you trying to get into the big box stores? Do you want to see it in the Walmart and the Target, or is that not like your target audience because it'll get lost in all the other products?
Man, that's a great question, and I think that that's kind of like the answer to the question, right? So like I'm huge on e-commerce, right? And how I look at things is like if I can run TikTok, right? And I can, like, for an example, just today I think we targeted, I think 27,000 people just today, right? Just targeted, right? I'm not doing that at a stand in the gym. I'm not doing that at Target or Walmart, right? I mean, depending on how you disperse it, right? But they're gonna take cuts, et cetera, right? The details of that is crazy. But for me, I rather capitalize and really take over this e-commerce market, right? Like really be everywhere on the internet, right? Like if you search a damn sauna suit, Shredskinz is in your face, right? Because if you search a sauna suit right now, Box Raw is in your face, and that's okay, right? They got the ad spend. I mean, every boxer you see got a damn Box Raw thing on them, so, and that's cool, right? But now it's Shredskinz time to kind of start kicking down some doors, and like that's my goal. And to answer your question about like where am I headed, it's a loaded question, right? Because I try not to get ahead of myself, but I also try to manifest things in weird ways that like I almost can't fathom, right? So like, yeah, I do want to be the official partner of the UFC, right? Or an organization, right? I do want to be in the conversations of the Box Raw, right? Like you have Shredskinz, you have Box Raw, right? I mean, I'm not really worried about everybody else, but and I'm not really trying to compete with Box Raw, right? But I also look at goals like, shit, man, we're rolling out on Amazon, you know, next week. That's huge for me.
Huge.
That's huge for me, right? Like that shit I used to dream of. I used to work at Amazon, right? And so now, I mean, people are about to be packaging, you know, Shredskinz. I remember, dude, I remember working at Amazon trying to take lunch breaks, bro, wearing like my reflector vest, like asking my manager, can you please just bear with me? I have to finish this message to my manufacturer. You know what I mean? And like now we're about to roll on Amazon. So like, it's such a loaded question because that's a huge accomplishment to me. And then also just like stick to the basics, right? Like really master the ability to scale. Like that's huge, right? Like getting enough inventory in so we're not selling out, but at the same time, not burning through cash flow. And I'd say like that's one of the biggest lessons that Mark has been trying to like push, right? Like just to give you an example, right? If you're ordering like 10 t-shirts and you sold out in a day, like that's cool, but make sure you don't order 1,000 now because you didn't scale properly, right? Now you're spending all that money to get it in. You have no idea if that's going to sell or not. So just calculating that, man. So I know that's a long-winded answer, but my mind's always working on like two different scales, right? Like where am I going to be at 5 to 10 years and where am I going to be at next week? You know,
How long has the company been open? Sorry.
about 3 years.
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask, what products are you looking to, new products are you looking to add to the Shredskinz line?
It's interesting, bro, because like I got this sweater on. I love this damn sweater, but full transparency, like it's not a hot off the shelf product, right? People come for their sauna suits, and that's okay, right? So like I do admire, and I'll use Box Raw shit. I'm over here teeing them up. You know, Box Raw. Box Raw, they've built a solid brand. You know what, Box Raw, if you watching this, man, like let's have a conversation. Nah, but they're killing it in the UK. So Box Raw, right? Like they built a brand, right? And almost to the point where if you see a dude rocking a Box Raw shirt, in your mind, if you're in the boxing or the fighting realm, you're like, oh, that dude probably trains, right? Like people aren't just rocking Box Raw, right? So like, I love that, right? I love that they have a brand identity. That's beautiful. That shit you can't buy. You know what I mean? So when I look at what I want next for Shredskinz, I would like to continue with the line of clothes, but I'm not in a rush because what I'm seeing is that people are coming for the suit, and that's okay, right? This is back to that scaling aspect, right? Why would I spend a ton of money trying to rip out 5 different kinds of hoodies, hats, shirts, sweaters when it's not selling, right? So when I continue to build that brand and continue to build that identity,
But why not expand within the realm of the product? Like, for instance, I want to introduce it to my girl because she wears something. It's like the
Waist
belt,
trainer.
the
Yep.
waist trainers. You know what I'm saying? So maybe a Shredskinz waist trainer is what I'm saying.
man, pretty much everything that you could probably throw at me, I've thought of. And just to answer that waist trainer question, I don't see anything wrong with having a Shredskinz waist trainer, but our whole identity is single use and convenience,
True.
right? So like if you think, okay, they have a single use sauna suit, but a reusable waist trainer, you know, and then people have asked me like, what if you try to switch to a reusable one? Well, now I'm competing with the giants, right? So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
I have to stay in my lane, figure out how to stay in my lane, create a bigger lane.
I mean, that
and then-
still might be something to think about because I ain't gonna front. Being Latino, I don't
the
know if you're
wasteful, the wastefulness to it.
no like. They used to use
No,
saran wrap back
for
in
sure.
the day.
No,
they
for
used to use saran wrap.
I'm not trying to be funny for us, and I think it changed. I'm not in the military anymore. I used to be. So for our fitness test, waist measurement used to be one, and there was a year it pissed me off because it's like I passed the run, passed the push-ups, failed my fucking waist. Just like to eat good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I then found myself retesting a month later. I know I'm gonna pass everything else. It's the waist I'm worried about.
Right.
I found myself using Preparation H. Somebody,
To just flush it
yo,
out. Yeah.
Preparation H, wrapped myself in saran wrap. Slept with that shit. Bro, 5.5 inches I lost overnight of
I
water
believe
weight.
it. Just for the record, I do not recommend that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, look, my mind is always working, man, and like, I mean, y'all just kind of like sparked an idea that's like, okay, maybe I could probably do this. I'm not even gonna say it right now, but like, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can hit something like this. But at the end of the day, man, my goal is just to really master, basically, like just like not get ahead of myself, man. You know what I mean? And like,
For sure.
and I caught myself doing that a few times, right? Like even with the colors, man, like until Shark Tank and that blue started popping, the blue was sitting at the warehouse, right? And I was like, damn, people just like the black and pink. But now it's like the colors are flying because of the brand. And so I'm a firm believer, if I just keep trusting the process, right, and keep moving with where I'm going, everything else will fall into piece. But I will say y'all did spark an idea. I'll tell y'all off the air.
Nah, for sure, man. We wish you the best. Obviously, I think that there is a lot of doors to be opened in the boxing world. You know, fighters are going through this every single fight.
Facts.
So if anyone needs a reusable suit, it's most certainly a fighter. Plus, after hard training, do you really want to fucking hose down a suit?
No,
So
right.
I
End up
like it,
wasting
man. I like it. That's why I reached out. That's why we wanted to have you on the show. I think that you know, not only our audience, because a lot of our audience, they may watch it, but they also still boxing train.
Right.
Some of you, you know, dads, this might be the way to lose a few inches for that weekend celebration because, you know, this is immediate weight loss.
Right.
you
And
know?
I'll say this right now, man. Like I'm a dad myself. Like I said, I'm a super dad, and I'll encourage all dads to get out there and to do something, man. And
Yeah.
and if it's not for yourself, do it for your children, do it for your family. I feel like every man should be training in some type of martial art or some type of fitness regimen. Like I feel like it's very important to release that inner man in you. And you know, you're a dad, man. Like get out there and get it, Shredskinz or not, right? Like get out there and take a boxing class. Get
So
out
they
there and take
asking
some
if they're on
jujitsu.
Amazon. When do they drop on Amazon?
Next week, man. I mean, full transparency, Amazon has given us a little bit of difficulties. We're fully stocked up there. We're fully ready to go. We're just waiting on a few tweaks, but it should be ready to go next week. But you guys have your own code, TBV, 15% off, which will be cheaper than what you would get it for Amazon. So if you want that
Nice.
Shredskinz now, TBV 15, which is probably the biggest code you're going to see. Normally it's like 10%, TBV 15. If you go to the website right now and grab a Shredskinz, that'll be cheaper than what you get it on Amazon. So Shredskinz.shop, go ahead and grab one for sure.
Shredskinz.shop, TBV 15.
We'll put the link in the live chat in a bit, just so that it's easy. So obviously, big fight weekend. Did we ask your prediction?
Canelo, no question.
No question.
No question. And I mean, there's UFC tonight too. I don't know if you guys have any
that?
Oh man, that's a good
he watches
prediction,
it.
too.
You said there's what?
UFC tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who? Probably a small.
Shanudo and Aljamain.
No, that's tomorrow.
What's today?
Friday.
Shit, man.
That's
confused.
tomorrow.
So who you picking in that?
See, I still don't know, right? Because
Yo, Aljamain struggled to making weight.
that he's a damn Shredskinz, one, and then two, you know, he's really cold. But Henry, man, damn near was the chess piece that helped John Jones win. And John Jones is a dog, don't get me wrong, but like that dude studies, you know, and it's gonna be an interesting fight. But
who's the favorite? Did you check the line?
I'm a big gambler. I have not checked the line. I'm in Vegas too, man.
My boy's been telling me to sprinkle something on Seguro, right? That's what I told you?
Yeah, my boy's been saying the same shit. I'm
just
not gonna
depends on
lie
the
to you.
line.
I kind of want Aljamain. So Hudo just he be saying some
I
like
met him,
cringy
man. We was gonna
things,
do a
man.
show together and everything, so I'm gonna fucking rock with him.
That's dope.
Yeah.
But that's whack too, because when you're better, you can't bet with your heart.
Yeah, he
You
done
cannot.
said-
I mean.
Yeah, see, because
yeah.
look at me. I'm like, yeah, he done said some cringy things, so that's why I'm not betting
Yeah,
on
but that's
it.
because you Mexican. I
Yeah.
can see it already. He probably wore a Trump hat or some shit.
This what happened with Gervonta and Ryan, right? Like my heart was telling me Tank, right? He's out of Baltimore, even though Baltimore is like a different type of.
What? You went with Ryan?
No, listen.
Nah, if you even telling
Just
us
shut up.
brother, if he's even telling us a story about this, he went with Ryan.
No. He got the Gervonta shirt. Listen, no, but I went with Tank, right? But I'm saying I could see my heart almost went with Ryan just because of what he was saying, right? But like at the end of the day, it's like
what was he saying?
just like his vibe. I like this vibe, man. Like in the interviews, he was just like kind of like almost like. You'll see.
Yeah,
like
nah,
I
he was
believe in
believable.
myself. Like and
He
I'm just
was
like, I like
believable.
that, and I love the underdogs. That's my problem, man. I'll take an underdog in a second,
Yeah.
man. Especially if the odds
It's
look
the
right.
story. Everybody loves the underdog story,
But
but I knew better.
Tank's
So
the
what I
problem.
did was root like a motherfucker for Ryan, but I always finished it and I'm picking Tank.
So for me, hey, the best winner win. Like whenever I find myself in situations like that, I'm one of those dudes I love to see people continue to win, right? When you get like the Floyd haters or the Tom Brady haters, that shit's kind of weak to me. Like at the end of the day, man, if they're winning, they're doing it for a reason. I respect it and I love it. You know what I mean? I don't ever like to see someone fall. That shit's not cool, right? Like I love to see winners win, and I love what Tank's doing. I love what Ryan's doing. I'm curious. I guess you know who Tank's gonna fight next, right? Because isn't Devin about to fight soon?
So you're not a casual.
I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but like I'm.
But you're not a casual.
No, man. Like I mean, he fights Lomachenko, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so
May
I mean,
20th.
but like personally, I think Lomachenko is going to win that fight, right? But like Devin Haney is a problem
Yo,
too.
watch out, bro. You just made an enemy. Look at his face.
But here's my point, bro. I respect fighting, and I'll be damned if I'm one of those casuals that
You say you're a gambler?
we could talk for sure. But my point is because my point is like I'll be damned if I don't know what that feels like to sit here and have a strong opinion. You know what? Like it's all right to have your own opinion.
Yeah.
But listen, I just respect the damn art of good and getting out there and getting it, man.
For
Like
sure.
getting
So
out
what
there
is
and
it about
getting
Loma you think is gonna give him the win?
See that's where like I couldn't have like a
Oh, you're just going
respectable
based off
debate.
experience.
Just based off what I've seen in previous fights. Like I thought Caleb Plant was gonna be the best motherfucking boxer like ever, right? Just because,
After or before the Canelo fight?
but before.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I just thought so, but like that's
But
how
you thought so? You picked him to beat Canelo?
I did bet on that, but that's because I know more UFC than I know
No, I got
because there's
you.
like ground game and shit. Boxing,
So what was your bet? Like you put money on that?
yeah, just money line.
So like, oh, money line.
Yeah, just
Caleb.
money
Yeah,
line.
that's a safe bet.
Because I thought, because I mean, Caleb, just from what I've seen, I'm like, damn, that dude is fluid, and I love this swagger.
Nah, and he looked good too. I bet you was happy that
I'm
first
sorry,
6
it wasn't.
rounds.
It wasn't. Who was the last fight he had?
Benavidez.
That guy. It wasn't that. It wasn't Canelo.
Oh wow, you thought he was
Benavidez.
so damn. So after he lost to Canelo, you
Yeah.
still thought he could beat Benavidez.
I love-
You
I
saw the Darrell knockout.
I just saw I keep seeing this one highlight that just
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
just fucking fluid, and I'm just like, I like him, but that's where I was saying, like, I can't give you a educated argument
Nah,
over
for sure,
boxers,
for sure.
but I will say I wish them all the best, just like I wish all UFC fighters the best, man. And like, I know how that feels to lose, but I also respect how much of a man you have to be to get up in there and to fight, man. And like, I love like talking about it, and I love betting it, but at the end of the day, man, like, these dudes are out here to feed their families, man. Like, I'm not like hoping, I'm not wishing on someone to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just love the fighting aspect to it, but I love myself some UFC, I will say. I love taking the motherfucker to the ground, because I do train in jiu-jitsu and shit, so I love that shit. But
Danny rolls around.
I love rolling, man.
Fuck this.
We got a mat somewhere. We got a mat.
Yeah, I don't
hilarious.
no, I don't do none of that. None of that. I watch it though. I'll watch the bigger fights.
Yeah.
You know, I'll definitely be tuned in, watching Aljamain and Cejudo.
So the news broke. Tank got probation, no jail time. Who do you expect him to fight?
Who do I expect him to fight next?
Yeah.
So I've heard like some rumors about like Shakur. I think he's too young. I think Tank bodies through him. But I would love to see him. But here's the thing, man, with those like weight clauses and all that shit, the shit that he put Ryan through, like, it would be cool to see
That
Devin.
made it to your timeline then.
What?
The rate clauses and the restrictions.
Yeah, like I definitely paid attention to it. But at the end of the day, man, Ryan wanted to fight, right?
Where did you first see it? Was it an Instagram, ESPN thing? Like, what made you aware of the weight restrictions? Just asking as a casual fan for data for the audience.
Probably Instagram for sure.
Okay,
I would say I follow like a couple different like Instagram sites. I can't even tell you off the top of my head, but like boxing news, MMA news, and you would see shit like that. But my point is, right, like, if you want to fight, right, you got to kind of abide to like what they want, you to do.
shit.
So I guess if Devin and him can figure out something, I think that shit would rock the world, especially if he comes off of a win with Loma. But I think Shakur's too young. Stevenson, I think he's too young. I think this is what people thought about Ryan. In reality, I mean, you could say whatever about his rib, man. He got outboxed, man. Like Tank did his thing, and I think that's what would happen with Stevenson, right? Like, I think he's just not ready yet. I think he needs to wait. I'm hoping that anyone in this corner would tell him to wait, but I think him and Devin would be awesome. I think that shit would be dope.
Do you think that it gets the same amount of attention as this past fight with Tank?
I think if not more. Maybe.
Really? Based off what? Because obviously Ryan has a bigger following than both those
Ryan
guys.
has a bigger following, but I think because this fight happened, I think even the casuals are going to look to see what happens next for Tank and see what happens next for Ryan. So I think this is going to be a huge money fight for whoever gets one of these next fights, right? Like, if you look at just like the celebrity boxing, right? You look at Jake Paul, right? He wins a fight. People are like, well, when is this motherfucker going to lose? Or what's next for him? And it's only going to ramp up until he loses. And then even if you lose, people want to see your bounce back.
No, he did lose. Now he's fighting Nate Diaz.
Yeah, man, Nate. Interesting. Which I don't even know if that fight's going to happen. Nate might get arrested, so.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he turned himself in. So, at this point, it's just like go to court. He had his arraignment, shit like that.
Yeah.
There's no way he'll get sentenced before that fight goes off.
I guess I'll ask you guys, not to take too much more time, but like, how do y'all feel about people like Jake Paul and Chase DeMore?
I love
these
Jake.
people, all these people that are like kind of.
Well, you said, hold on, because I feel like you start saying names I haven't heard.
Chase DeMore, he's the one that Nate
never
Diaz
heard.
tried to throw a chair at him. Or no, he tried to throw a chair at Nate Diaz. He's a celebrity boxer too.
Okay, yeah. So like that, we're big on Jake. Jake respects the sport. He puts the work in.
I like Jake.
And he's helped
put
a lot of people.
he's put a lot of people on, whether it be through him or it's like
His promotional company. He started an actual promotional company.
Yeah, but that's what I
And
meant
he's
through
giving
him.
people real opportunities,
But
not
I-
just like fake opportunities.
But even still, like, there's guys that it's like he's giving like a shot on his undercard, and he
Yes.
won't sign them, but somebody else will. So
based off that
Just putting people on.
Yeah,
Love it,
because
yeah.
it's like, now we got to see you. Oh, that's what you can do. And someone else picked him up. But, look, Jake, May 26th, he has his own DAZN show. So, he's been able to use his career to get television dates, not only for himself on pay-per-view, but now he's been able to start a completely new prospect series. So, I mean, Jake, people hated me when I said it then, but now that he got DAZN to give him dates for prospect, man, he is the savior.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of him.
He's the savior.
There's
And his
not
brother.
There's not anybody else in the sport right now That's
doing it
photo-
like him.
No, I mean, fuck that. That's an opinion, but that can very well be argued. But that has fought.
How?
I mean, Canelo does more numbers. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
you
what I'm
see,
saying is factual. What I'm saying is factual. Ain't nobody fought on every fucking platform but him.
Exactly.
There's not a.
And also, what I'm saying is factual. Remember, no one's done what he's done. His first fight ever was a pay-per-view, and he's always been. No one's ever done this.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. You just said something so open ended. That's what I'm saying. Like that's an opinion.
But
I
how
mean,
could it be opinion? It's the first thing ever done. No one's ever started on pay-per-view and
I
remained.
mean, you said
Like,
that afterhand, champ. But
Every
it's all
pay-per-view
good.
star
You got
has
it.
had fights on regular networks. Like my man just started like selling from the door. They started with YouTube.
I respect the entrepreneurship behind it. I love
He
the
sold
social media
pay-per-views on
aspect to it.
YouTube and made 1.5. So nah, those guys are huge, man. They're huge. But yeah, if you want to give out your social media,
Yeah, Kalaii 2, Kalaii 2. That's gonna be me on Instagram. Please give me a follow. And then Shredskinz is Shredskinz with a Z, pretty much on every damn platform except Pinterest, which I keep saying we gonna get on that shit anyway. But every platform, Shredskinz. And again, TBV15, get yourself 50% off of any of your Shredskinz today. Thanks
Let's
for having
go.
me, guys.
well, on that note, we've given you our prediction. And for a more detailed prediction, remember to tune into our betting show. After this, we'll be live on YouTube. Members giving you that great betting advice for this weekend. I got a killer parlay cooked up. Catch us on the next one. We're out.
Peace.